Hello, everybody. This is Ben, and I wanted to make this video this morning. It's a little bit above freezing now, so I felt comfortable going outside again. A lot of drama with my car. Not happy with it, but it's drivable. So I want to talk to my small YouTube audience that still watches my video on my live streams occasionally. Just want to say hi to everybody. I know that nobody's watching these live streams anymore. My channel has zeroed out since about 2019, but I'm going to talk about this anyway and talk about the seriousness of this disorder. It's so serious that I think it should be labeled as a dire medical condition. I was a kid, and when I was a kid in the 90s, sorry if I'm going a lot, I just don't know how to put my words together, so I apologize in advance. When I was a child, I didn't have anxiety. When I was a child, I had these weird, I don't know how to say, like, I was just a kid, I was just a little kid back in the 90s, and I never knew anything about the world, like the big world that we live in. It wasn't just, like, it wasn't just, like, everything wasn't bad. Like, in a general term, nothing was bad. Everything was going okay. I lived this life when I was a kid, where there was moments of peace, where there was moments of clarity at Amber Alert. There was these moments of clarity in my life where everything felt right as rain or normal, and I never had any issues. I never had any issues of, if anything, just normal. I was a normal kid doing normal kid things. Basketball, running, walking, exercising, going into McDonald's play places back in the 90s, going in the jungle gyms of Peter Piper Pizza back in the 90s. Some of the Peter Piper Pizzas had like these gigantic playgrounds. We're talking huge for kids. Our local mall actually had a gigantic playground, which was weird, but it was a gigantic playground. We're talking like a quarter mile of tubes that you could climb through. It was one of the biggest I've ever seen. In 1992 or 3, I was at SeaWorld. And the thing I remember, the only remembrance of that SeaWorld trip was a cup that said SeaWorld. And it was an indigo cup, like it glowed in the dark. And it was a Dr. Pepper. I remember that very specifically. Now, the trouble started around 2000 with my aunt doing some nasty stuff, my mental, physical abuse, and it changed me as a kid. I was never really a troublemaker child until about 99, 2000. 2000 is when it started. I started to become hostile, and I would like get angry all the time about dumb shit. And I never had that problem before until mental and physical abuse. But I openly talk about this stuff. A lot of people will not talk about this stuff in the open. But I talk about this stuff to bring awareness to people that have anxiety or panic disorder, or even maybe bouts of depression. I think it's extremely important that this stop in a general term. I think it's important that physiological and mental abuse needs to be curtailed around the world. It really does affect people differently. For me, it affected my ability to normal in my society, of my world, of my living conditions. I can't hold down a job. I can't hold down relationships. I can't hold down friendships. Although I am very intellectual, I just cannot hold down friendships or relationships because people find me weird. And I ruin every single relationship that I have, and not through cheating, but just by being anxiety ridden all the time. So I ruined those relationships. I had girls upon girls in California, but I ruined all those relationships by being weird, not by being myself. Anxiety is such a crutch in my life that I have come to accept it, but it is such a crutch. It's such a it feels so physical. I don't know how to explain it. It's terrorizing. It's literally I call it body terrorism. Literally. It is the most horrific, one of the most horrific of disorders or physical disorders that play with your head and then turn in physical into your body. You know, I've been having anxiety attacks for years, and having these attacks of rapid heart rate, high blood pressure attacks, I call them attacks because, I mean, sometimes we're hitting 180, 190, 200 on the top. Rapid heart rate, feeling like you're going to pass out and physiologically die. That's definitely bad. I mean, it's bad regardless of if it's not going to necessarily end your life. It's still bad for your body. It's bad to suffer from it regardless of if it hurts you or not. Over time, it hurts your body. It hurts your mind and it hurts your soul. It is one of the worst disorders ever. It's not just something that you can throw away with a key and throw the key away to it. It is something that is so embedded within the brain. It is so embedded into the brain of everything that you look at, everything that you see in your life, everything that you see and you look at this signs, and you look at this and you look at that, and you look at everything. You look at this big picture that this human lives in, right? You worry about taxes, cars, women. You worry about your boyfriend, your girlfriend. You worry about everything. Everything. You worry about everything. I cannot relax ever. It's been like this since about 2012. There's not a moment that I can relax. The only time that I can personally relax is if I am sleeping. When I wake up, the first thing that I think of, even though I've tried changing this over the last 10 years, I'm going to die. Before I go to sleep, I'm going to die. What kind of fucking thinking is that? What kind of fucking thinking is that? That's not even normal, man. My heart's going to give out. I'm going to pass out when I stand up from the bed, and no one's going to be there to save me if I die. Where am I going to go when I die? There's not, oh my God, it's a beautiful morning. I don't have those thoughts no more. And I haven't had those thoughts in over 12 years. It has never ended. It is a constant shit show of my own brain doing this to me. When I am at a hotel, or if I'm at a house, or an apartment, or a condo, nothing I do calms me down. When I was in Florida, all I worried about was tsunami, hurricane, tsunami, hurricane, tsunami, and hurricane. That's all I worried about every day. Living in Key Largo, tsunami or hurricane. Nothing else. I can never just go to the beach and enjoy it. When I lived in New Jersey, tsunami, I'm going to get shot. That's what I worried about in New Jersey. Walking to my car. Every day. Every day. Even when I had a job. Every day. And I would be like looking left and right, hoping, I'm not going to get attacked. Because I lived in a very pretty rough neighborhood in New Jersey. Then when I go to New York, I'm always scared something's going to happen. I'm going to get stuck in the Holland or Lincoln Tunnel. And in Texas, it's the same shit, except more things. This is going to happen to me. This is going to happen to me. I'm going to hit a dresser in the middle of the road. I'm going to hit a deer. I'm going to hit this. Who the fuck thinks like that all the time? Like, I've tried to stop myself in my tracks, but nothing works. Nothing. No distraction. I cannot sleep at a rest stop for more than a few hours because I'm worried that I am going to get broken into. I mean, that is a technical, it's a technical issue, yeah. It can happen. I can't sleep at a rest stop. I can never relax. I can never just go on my phone or listen to my radio or nothing. I just cannot relax. Nothing I do helps me. I drive, and that's the only time that I don't have anxiety, is when I'm moving in a motor vehicle. If I'm in control of the motor vehicle, of course. Nothing else helps. Nothing, man. Nothing helps me. Nothing at all in this world helps because I'm worried about everything when I should be worried about nothing. And I don't understand it. I don't understand why I'm always suffering. And I think to myself, why does this keep happening to me? I don't want those thoughts. But my brain is always in overdrive. Always, every damn day. It's like overdrive. It's like, you gotta worry about this, you gotta worry about this, you gotta worry about this, you gotta worry about... Who the fuck thinks like that? Oh, hi, I'm a doctor. Not actually a doctor, but I'm a doctor. You want to take some Lexapro? Do you want to take these medications? Do you want to take these antipsychotics? Those will help you over the years. No, they don't help me because that's not what I'm worried about. No antipsychotic, no antidepressants help me. Because I'm not depressed. I'm anxious about bad things happening. I have experienced a really bad PTSD when I was a kid, and it has followed me to adulthood. Then, why don't you go some therapy, CBT? Do some other therapies besides exposure therapy. I've done that. Nothing helps me, in particularly. So, I get up on these Texas roads. I drive from Dallas. I drive to Houston. I drive to San Antonio. I drive to Austin. I drive to El Paso. I drive to Las Cruces, New Mexico. I just did it because I was bored. I drove all the way to Tucson, Arizona, California, Las Vegas, Denver, Colorado. I'm Pikes Peak, Colorado. I've driven to Dayton, Ohio. I've driven to New York. I've driven to New Jersey. I've driven to Miami. I've driven to Key West. And what am I thinking while I'm driving? I'm going to die. What if the tire breaks? Oh my God, I'm going to crash. Like, no, that's not normal. I drive into Mexico. The first thing I think, the second I've crossed the border, cartel is going to shoot me. The first thing I think when I go into that damn border, into Mexico, I'm going to get killed by the cartel. Yet, I've never actually pissed them off. I've never actually pissed off the cartel to where that would actually happen. It could happen, but in a normal circumstance, that's not going to happen. You're not just going to get shot by the cartel for no reason. But yet, that's my immediate thought instead of enjoying my time across the border. Going to get some Mexican food. That is my first thought. Literally, my first thought. The second I pay the toll to cross the bridge. Normal people don't have this issue. Normal people don't think like that. I want that normalcy. Well, how come I cannot have that normalcy? And so I can live a normal, productive life. Why can't I have that normalcy? No matter what the fuck I think, no matter how much fucking therapy, no matter how much fucking benzos, whatever, nothing helps me. Nothing. Yes, that is actually true. But you have to have a prescription in Mexico. Yeah, and you can't bring it across the border. So, point I'm making is, they sell everything. They sell all medications. It's crazy out there. They literally sell all the medications, but you got to have a prescription from a local pharmacia, usually from a consult. You consult, you get a prescription, they'll fill it. But everything is pre-filled in Mexico. Most of everything is pre-filled. Like everything in boxes are already in the boxes. I went to go get some ear medication in Mexico. That shit's like $300 in the United States. I got it for like $7 in Mexico. Same stuff. It had hydrocortisone in it. It was very nice, and it cured my ear infection that was bothering me. Mexico is pretty safe during the day, but not at night. Especially if you're going to go down to Monterrey or Monclova. Monclova used to be pretty safe. But I don't know about now. And I don't go to the second checkpoint. What is it about anxiety that it has to torture me for the last 20 years? 18 years, 19 years now. What is it about this fucking disorder that won't go away? I haven't even taken benzodiazepines that long. So why am I suffering 19 years now of my life? I'm in prison in my own body. I can't enjoy myself. I can't get on an airplane and enjoy myself. It's always, you're going to crash. It's going to crash. You're going to crash. And I'm thinking to myself, but the chances of crashing are lower than being in a regular car. Nope, gonna crash. What the fuck is that, man? And no, I don't think about crashing every single time I'm on an airplane. I just think about it sometimes. But it's like bothersome. Oh no, your heart's going to give out on the airplane. Nope, can't live a normal life. Sorry. Brain won't let you. Therapy. I've been to years of therapy about this. About this worry that I have. Why am I so worried about everything all the time for no reason? Every day. Every day. It's every single day. Look at my head. Look at my body, guys. I'm so stressed out all the time. Nothing helps, man. Beer, alcohol. Nothing helped. I don't even like alcohol. I don't like the taste of it. Nothing. Marijuanas. I tried that in California. It just made me more anxious. Sativa, California Kush. I did the marijuana. I tried it in California in like 2013. I had a massive panic attack on the marijuanas. And after that, I had to go to the emergency room. I told them I took some Mary J. And they gave me lots of Ativan in the emergency room to calm my heart rate down. And they also gave me a little bit of a Atenolol. Brought it down. And I was able to have a better night. Therapy. It's physiological and it never goes away. The only time that I seem to be a little bit mentally less unstable when it comes to these thoughts is when I was living in Dayton, Ohio. I was living in a small town and I felt safer there. And I wasn't as anxious. I felt slowed down. Like I could just walk to the store. I could just drive to the store. And I could just live normally. I know I was sad about not having a girlfriend at the time and stuff like that, but I was happier in general. I was happier in Dayton, Ohio, because of where I lived. I lived in a small town, okay? And I felt that I could unwind and be myself, talk to people, enjoy myself. When I went to Subway, I could talk to the people there and chill, and we could just talk about cell phones. We would just chill. And if there was severe weather, I would be the tornado siren for the whole city, pretty much. I mean, not literally, but I'd be like warning people, hey, there might be a tornado coming. It's weird to me because that's when I felt my happiest. I had some bad times switching doctors and getting the medications that I needed, but in a general term, I was happiest when I was in the Dayton, Ohio area. And also because I was with my friend, me and him are almost the same when it comes to technological, electronical, cellular devices, talking about them, having fun and playing games and stuff like that, World of Warcraft, etc. Everything was better off then, than where I'm at now. Also, another thing with anxiety is you tend to push people away. I don't think that's healthy and not a good alternative to not pushing people away. But anxiety is a bitch. It is the most ugly. This might even not even be just anxiety. This might also be like an OCD thing, obsessive compulsive disorder. I cannot think of it as just maybe being just anxiety. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. But in general terms, I do think, in a general term, I do think that it's something other than just anxiety. It's a physiological response. It's so unhealthy. It just mentally, physiologically, it takes a toll on your body over the years. You become so stressed out about everything for no reason. It's hard to comprehend just how much stress. Like, I'm looking at people, right? Like, I see them. I'm seeing them here. They're just living their lives. They're working. They're in their truck or car, and they're getting food. And I'm just watching them, and I'm thinking to myself, for the most part, those people sure are struggling, maybe, financially, but they're going to work. They're enjoying their lives. At least they get up and they get coffee in the morning. I mean, they're getting up, they're getting off, they're getting coffee, they're enjoying themselves. It may not be the most pleasant experience, but they're not constantly worried, oh my God, this is going to happen. Oh my God, that's not every single day. Not every single day. I'm sure not every single day. But then there's people like me that just so stressed out all the time, they don't know what to do. It's always stress. But then you look at all these people driving, and you don't know their lives, of course, obviously. You don't know their lives. You see all these other humans. They're driving back and forth, enjoying their lives and doing their own thing. Yeah, some of them might suffer from mental illness. Some of them may not suffer from nothing. And they get to live a normal-ish life until they die. So they get to live a normal-ish life, and I'll be honest with you, I am jealous of at least 80% of these people on the roads. Because at the end of the day, most of these people, I'm saying most, they don't have mental illness. They don't have these disorders. I don't even know if it's called mental illness at this point. They don't have these disorders. So they get up. They get up at 5 or 6 a.m. They start getting ready for work. They start getting ready for their school. And they just live their life. They just live their life. Me, I worry about everything. Them, they worry about their goal, which is to get 8 hours at work and go home. I can't even do that. I tried. I've tried multiple times. I got let go of a job in New York because of my anxiety. No joke. I got let go of work because of a job. I was doing a good job in New York City. Thousands of miles of driving. But I let go because the camera caught me having a panic attack. I had to pull near the FDR, get off the FDR, and pull over and park while I was having my panic attack. Because of that, they let me go. They drove me all the way to Bethesda, Maryland. They got me up on a Uber, and they took me on a train from Washington D.C. back to New Jersey. and I lost my job. I was making like 35, 40 an hour. I was making super money for the first time in my life. Super money. Not regular money, super money. As much as a fucking, I don't know, a trucker. Just getting in the car and recording. I was making as much as a trucker Monday through Friday. Friday nights were the bitch, though, because it took a long time to get out of New York City on Friday nights. But other than that, it wasn't that bad. I mean, you would stay stuck in traffic for like an hour in New York to get underneath the Lincoln or the Holland Tunnel, or even going back to the Verrazano Bridge to get back to New Jersey through Staten Island. But it wasn't that bad. I had to go. That was my goal, was to make a lot of money. That was my goal. That was my dream. And I got let go because of my anxiety. Imagine getting let go because of an anxiety disorder. Imagine that, guys. Imagine that. Imagine you're making all this bank. You got fucking $6,000 in your checking account. After 2 weeks, you'll get $6,000 working for a multi-billion-dollar company, and then you get let go after 2 months. When I had a contract for 12 months. And they were going to renew my contract because I was the best performer. I wasn't trying to be. I was just driving. I was just driving. Literally, just driving. I was making fucking bank. I was making money. I was making as much as an 18-wheeler driver in a 2-week period. I don't have money for the S23 Ultra, so I'm not going to buy it. But the point I'm making is I had to fix my car. I had to fix the lower control arm. I had to fix the strut. The strut was damaged. The lower control arm was damaged. The ball joint was damaged. My rotor was bent. I had to replace the rotors. I had to get a new tire. I don't have money like that now to get an S23 Ultra, although I would love it. And I need help. But unfortunately, because I cannot find a job, I've been looking. And I'm too outspoken. Maybe I'm too outspoken. Maybe I need to chill with it. I've tried all these different meds. I've tried therapy. I've tried everything, and nothing works for me. I'm reading the comments. But unfortunately, AT&T has shitty service in this area. I'm so tired of this. I don't know. Point I'm making is my anxiety disorder has literally ruined my jobs. I don't know what to say to that. I don't know what to say to that. You suffer every single day. Get let go. You get laughed at. You get made fun of. And then not only do you get laughed and made fun of, people start hating you because you suffer from anxiety. Literally, I'm serious. Some people hate me because I'm not hate, but they don't want to talk to me. They don't want to do nothing to do with me because I suffer from this weird disorder. I was making fucking bank, bro. I was making bank. I would have had a brand new car. I might even be able to get out of an apartment. Nope. It's always just stress. And then your partners leave you. That's what anxiety does, man. I'm telling you, over the years. I'm growing gray hair and I'm not even fucking 40 years old yet. Growing gray hair already. Look at this. All my hair is turned gray. Stress kills. I hope people that are younger that watch this video will stop stressing out before they get my age. And then once they get older than me, it's going to affect them one way or another. The body cannot cope with this constant adrenaline release. It can't cope with it long term. I don't think it can. Maybe it can. I don't think it can. I think the body can only take so much before it gives out. They say anxiety doesn't hurt, but I think it does over the years. Not acutely, but over the years chronically. I think it contributes to heart disease. I think it contributes to strokes and aneurysms, in my opinion. I think it does long term. And I think people that suffer from anxiety disorders, I don't think they live as long as people that do not, in my opinion. And also do not smoke or drink. In general, they live longer in their small human earthly years. But anxiety is a bitch. It's the worst thing that can. It's one of the worst things you can have that's not physiologically. Like, you can't see anxiety. You can only feel it. And it's always feeling like you're on a roller coaster. You're about to take that dive, that first dive off a roller coaster. And that's what anxiety is. But just imagine that dive feeling when you're going down. You're like, whoa, you know. And imagine, now lower that feeling to just a little bit. And now put it for 18 years. Yeah, no joke. So get that anxiety feeling, right? That anxiety feeling in your head. Get that anxiety feeling. Now, get on a roller coaster. Go to your local roller coaster during the spring. Go to your local roller coaster. And right as you're going, clack, 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 up the roller coaster, and you hear the chains going, chit, 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 chit. Right as it goes, the chain lets go, and it's going to idle there for a second and stop. Your heart might start racing just a little bit because you're excited and scared, especially if you're a screamer on the roller coaster. That feeling, I want you to feel that feeling. Now, take that feeling of you're about to fall on the roller coaster. Take that feeling and lower it to about 20% of 100% of that feeling. So that feeling that you're in your seat and you're looking over and you're like, whoa, you know, that feeling. So take that really scared feeling of the butterfly in your stomach before it releases the chain, and then it releases to let go of the roller coaster so you can go flipping and then go back to the entrance. So take that feeling, lower it to about 20% of that feeling, and then spread it throughout 18 years. That is what I feel when having anxiety in general. You're always on that edgy edge feeling, and you can't control it. Medication can barely mask that feeling. And that's where we're at. So take that edgy feeling that you feel on that roller coaster as the roller coaster's either on the top or kind of about to fall, but stop there for a second. And then take that feeling and then lower about 80%. But you still kind of feel it. And take that feeling, like I said, put it over 18 years. Generalized anxiety. Or I call it generalized roller coaster syndrome. GRS. Generalized roller coaster syndrome. Or GRCS. That's what I call it. I'm literally making this up as I go, so that's not an actual diagnosis. But imagine, like I said, being on the edge of that roller coaster. You're about 200 or 300 feet up in the air long, or even more. And, you know, you're looking to the side, and you're like, whoa. And you're like, whoa. And then, you know, it's starting to slowly edge over the edge there. And then, you know, subtract the 80%. So you get 20% anxiety. Your heart's kind of pumping a little bit faster than normal. And just put that to your everyday life for 18 plus years. And you are suffering. I'm telling you, it is literally a shitty situation. It sucks. It sucks so bad. And I'll say this. I don't wish it on nobody. Nobody. Not one soul. It's suffering without the physiological looks. kind of like a masked. It's like masked. It's like being behind a mask. So you suffer every day, but you're masked. So it's hard to explain to people that don't suffer from it. But it sucks. It ruins lives. It ruins relationships. Ruins friendships. It ruins job opportunities. I mean, it does so much damage. It does so much damage, especially when you don't have it under control. It does so much damage to you. It does mentally, physically, emotionally, definitely emotionally, monetarily, especially if you don't have family to help you, it makes it 100% worse. But when you have family that understands, it makes it 100% less worse. But it ruins your life. It can ruin your life. It can make you homeless if you don't have family that supports your anxiety attacks. If you don't have a sibling or a lover, it can ruin your life. It can literally ruin your life. It ruins your life through mental, physical, financial. It destroys it. Because you suffer from anxiety so much that you may not be able to work. And if you are able to work, you might have episodes where you need to go to the back room and calm down. Or you might have to take a medication to stop yourself from having that anxiety. So yeah, no, it destroys everything that you touch in your own body. And nobody cares. That's the best part. Unless they suffer from anxiety or they suffer from another mental illness, they don't care. They see you as a problem. Let's put it that way. They see you as a leech on society. That's what they see people with anxiety, depression, or schizophrenia, or bipolar. They see those people as a leech on society because they don't understand that feeling. And they think that you're faking it sometimes. Probably all the time. I mean, because that's just how people are. They don't, until they either have a anxiety attack or a heart attack or something in medical emergency wise, or I call it a physical reaction. Until they have one or the other, they will not understand that fight or flight response that you get, and where your hands turn pale, you kind of turn pale and you get a little bit lightheaded, and you almost feel like you're going to faint, and your heart starts racing really fast. And if you have heart disease, it makes it even worse when you have anxiety, because you can't tell the difference if it's heart disease or if it's anxiety sometimes. I mean, you'll definitely be able to tell if it's heart disease or heart arrhythmia, because you might be sitting at 60 beats per minute and suddenly you're at 150, 180, 200 beats. Suddenly, like if it ain't gradually increasing and it's like just a sudden, like you're just sitting here off of that's not normal. Emergency room right away. Or 911 and emergency room right away. If you're going straight from like 60 beats per minute straight up to 200 or 180 beats per minute within a second or two, emergency room right away. Or if you feel your rhythm change completely and you can feel it and it's abnormal and it's like skipping all of a sudden, emergency room. But if it's a gradual increase, like it's like 60 and you're like, whoa, and you're like, I don't feel good, but it's not like it's stopping or skipping as much. It's just rapidly increasing and increasing and increasing and faster and faster and faster. That probably is a panic attack, because it's slowly increasing for it's going from like 60, 70, 80, 90, and all of a sudden you're like, you can feel it. It's like pop, pop, pop. It is fast. That is probably a panic attack. Full-blown panic attack. But if it suddenly switches within a couple seconds, you need to go to the emergency room. That's not a panic attack. A panic attack would not cause an adrenaline release of a rhythm change within a second or two. I've been through multiple panic attacks in my life, and I've never had my rhythm suddenly switch. Now, I have had an arrhythmia before, which was absolutely fucking scary because I took too much calcium at once. That was fudge. Don't do that again. Taking 20 Tums in less than 24 hours is not a good idea. That will mess with your heart rhythm. Don't do that. Other than that, You know, I felt the rhythm suddenly change, and I had to go to the hospital immediately, right away. Don't do that. Just don't mess with magnesium, calcium, or potassium. Be very gentle on those, okay? Because the rhythm just suddenly changed, and I had to go to the emergency room because it was abnormal. But they fixed the rhythm pretty quickly. So, point I'm making is anxiety is gradual on the heart rate increase. It can happen pretty fast, but it's more gradual. It's not immediate switch. So if you feel that immediate switching, that's not anxiety. Trust me, 100%. It just doesn't. It's not 1 second. It's like tup, 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 and then all of a sudden, it's not like it. It just doesn't happen that way. It's usually a gradual increase. You feel the anxiety, you're feeling tense, or you feel like, oh, you're like whoa, or you're like whoa, and you're like híjole, and then you know what I mean, like that. You're kind of freaking out a little bit, and then the heart rate starts to increase. Then you start feeling the flushing. Your heart rate's like 130, 140, 150. It's kind of idling out around 150, 160 beats per minute. You're like, whoo, I'm gonna pass out or die. You're probably not gonna die of that particular incident. You may feel like it, but no. It's when you got to worry about it is when it suddenly changes, where you're just oh my God, what's going on in my heart, like that. Then you got a problem. But anxiety is a disorder, and it destroys lives. It destroys, like I said, it destroys your financial, your stability. It destroys marriages. I mean, I've seen so many people lose everything, including me. And that's the truth. Thank you guys for watching. This has been the Planet Earth, and hope you have yourself a good day.